Have you ever stood in front of your closet staring at a literal rainbow of options? The muted sage greens, the reliable denim blues, maybe even that one daring mustard yellow you bought on a whim, only to reach, almost magnetically, for the same black t-shirt you wore 2 days ago? Or maybe you're the person whose wardrobe looks like a charcoal sketch, where adding a pop of color means wearing a slightly lighter shade of slate. Society loves to label this. They call it boring or moody, or maybe they ask if you're heading to a funeral every single Tuesday. But your brain knows better. There is a specific, quiet power in black that the rest of the color wheel just can't replicate. It isn't just a fashion choice, it's a psychological fortress, a sensory filter, and a profound statement of identity, all rolled into one. If you find yourself consistently gravitating toward the darkest corner of the spectrum, you aren't just hiding. In fact, you might be doing the exact opposite. You might be protecting a very vibrant, very complex inner world that needs a little bit of darkness to truly shine. Think about the last time you walked into a crowded room wearing something bright. There is an immediate, subconscious awareness of being seen. In the wild, bright colors are nature's way of screaming for attention, whether it's a toxic frog warning predators to stay away or a tropical bird trying to find a mate. When we wear vibrant colors, our brains are constantly processing the feedback of being a visual focal point. But when you slip on that black hoodie or that tailored black blazer, something shifts. It's like clicking a do not disturb button on your own nervous system. For many of us, wearing black acts as a form of emotional armor. It creates a boundary between our inner selves and the external world. Psychology tells us that people who prefer black are often highly sensitive or deeply emotional individuals. By wearing a color that absorbs all light and reflects none, you are essentially creating a vacuum where you can exist without the pressure of performing for the gaze of others. It's the ultimate safe space you can carry with you into the grocery store or a high-stakes meeting. There's a fascinating concept in psychology called Enclothed Cognition. It's the idea that the clothes we wear don't just change how others see us, they actually change the way we think and behave. When you wear black, you aren't just wearing a pigment, you're wearing an archetype. Historically and culturally, black has been the color of the priest, the judge, the beatnik poet, and the high-fashion icon. It signals authority and seriousness, but also a certain kind of intellectual rebellion. If you're someone who constantly feels like your mind is running at 100 miles per hour, maybe you're a chronic overthinker, or someone who feels the weight of every social interaction, black provides a sense of prestige stability. It tells your brain, we are composed, we are in control, we are not a distraction. It's the visual equivalent of a deep, grounding breath. You aren't asking for permission to be there, you are simply there, a solid silhouette in a world of blurry colors. Let's look at the sensory side of things for a second. We live in an era of peak stimulation. From the neon glow of our phones to the frantic pace of our city streets, our brains are being pelted with data every microsecond. For many all-black everything enthusiasts, this preference is actually a brilliant subconscious hack for sensory regulation. If your internal world is already loud, if you're dealing with anxiety, high-functioning creativity, or just a generally intense personality, the last thing you want is for your physical appearance to add to the noise. Choosing black is a way of turning down the volume on your external environment. It's minimalist, not just in style, but in cognitive load. You don't have to worry about color clashing, you don't have to worry about matching the vibe of the room, and you certainly don't have to worry about the social politics of whether your colors are in season. By removing the variable of color, you free up massive amounts of mental energy for the things that actually matter to you. You are essentially delegating your fashion choices to your subconscious, so your conscious mind can go out and solve problems, write stories, or navigate complex emotions. But there's a deeper, perhaps slightly more philosophical layer to this. Have you ever noticed that when you look at a black and white photograph, you notice the textures, the shadows, and the expressions much more than you do in a color photo? Color can be a distraction. It can mask the true essence of a thing. People who wear black often have a deep-seated desire to be known for their character and their intelligence rather than their packaging. It's a way of saying, I am not my gift wrapping. By fading into the background visually, you force people to engage with your words, your eyes, and your energy. It's a paradox of visibility. By wearing the most invisible color, you make your true self more visible. You're stripping away the noise of fashion to reveal the signal of your personality. It's a quiet confidence that says you don't need a neon sign to prove you have something valuable to say. Sometimes the choice of black is a response to a world that feels increasingly chaotic. We call this control through curation. When life feels like it's spinning out of orbit, maybe work is stressful, or your personal life feels like a jigsaw puzzle with missing pieces, having a uniform of black provides a sense of order. It is the one thing you can control perfectly. There's a reason why so many creative geniuses, from Steve Jobs to Yohji Yamamoto, adopted a singular dark uniform. It's about the reduction of choice. Every decision we make throughout the day drains a little bit of our ego strength, our limited reservoir of willpower. By deciding, once and for all, that your look is black, you protect that reservoir. You're not being lazy, you're being efficient. You are building a fortress of consistency around yourself. It's your signature, your brand, and your sanctuary, all in one. Now, we have to talk about the shadow side of this preference because psychology loves a good shadow. Historically, we've associated black with mourning and sadness, and while that's a very narrow view, there is a grain of truth in the idea that black can be a sanctuary for the inner melancholy. But here's the thing, melancholy isn't a bad thing. In our modern toxic positivity culture, we're told we're always have to be on, always bright, always sunshine yellow. But human beings aren't made of sunshine, we're made of stardust and shadows. Wearing black can be a way of honoring your own complexity. It's a color that acknowledges the gravity of life. It's empathetic. It doesn't ask you to smile when you're not feeling it. It's a color that says, I see the weight of the world and I can carry it. For those who have survived toxic situations or deep personal losses, black can feel like a protective cloak, a way of rebuilding yourself from the inside out without being interrupted by the demands of the world. There's also an element of intentional mystery here. Think about the way a black dress or a black suit changes the energy of a room. It's sophisticated, yes, but it's also a bit of a riddle. Because black hides the details of the body's silhouette and the subtle movements of the fabric, it creates a sense of unmapped territory. People who wear black are often perceived as more serious, more capable, and ironically, more intense. You are essentially a blank canvas that people can't help but project their curiosity onto. You become a person of depth, someone who has secrets, someone who doesn't give everything away at the first handshake. And in an age where everyone is oversharing every meal and every fleeting thought on social media, having a little bit of black-clad mystery is a genuine superpower. You are reclaiming the right to be private. So the next time someone asks you why you're always wearing black or jokes about your goth phase that never ended, you can just smile. You know that it isn't about being gloomy or being uninspired. It's about being a vibrant architect of your own internal space. You're choosing a color that gives you the most room to grow. You're choosing a color that respects your sensitivity, fuels your focus, and protects your peace. Whether you're a high achiever looking to reduce decision fatigue, a creative soul trying to highlight your work over your wardrobe, or just someone who feels a little more themselves in the shade, your preference for black is a testament to your depth. It means you don't need a neon sign to prove you have something valuable to say. You are the night sky, dark on the outside, but holding an entire universe of stars on the inside. Take a look at your closet tomorrow morning. Don't feel guilty for reaching for that black sweater again. Instead, recognize it for what it is, your armor, your uniform, and your peace of mind. It's the color of the beginning of the universe and the color of the deep, fertile earth. It's where everything starts. So keep wearing your black. Wear it with pride, wear it with comfort, and wear it with the knowledge that you're not just blending in, you are standing out in the most profound way possible. After all, the most colorful people often have the darkest closets because they don't need their clothes to do the talking for them. They've already got plenty to say. If this resonated with your dark wardrobe soul, I'd love to hear your why in the comments. Is it the comfort, the mystery, or just the fact that it makes laundry day a whole lot easier? We're building a community of deep thinkers and quirky brains here, so if you want to keep exploring the weird and wonderful blueprints of the human mind, hit that subscribe button. Let's keep decoding the why behind the who we are together. Until next time, stay curious, stay deep, and keep being your most authentic self, whatever color that happens to be.